Happening now, a Jamestown fight turned into a shooting scene over the weekend. And a saddening memorial was put up for a Jamestown teen who was killed in a hit and run in 2021. Plus, Jamestown's Pride Fest happened over the weekend. We take a look back into the festivities.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a fistfight led to a shooting in the city of Jamestown Friday night. Officers of the Jamestown Police Department Violent Crime Unit responded to a call about a report of multiple gunshots in the East 2nd Street area at around 9:43 p.m. Now, after checking the area, 25-year-old Darius Franklin was found in the middle of a physical altercation with another man in the road. A woman on the scene had reported that Franklin had fired several shots at her and in the process hit two vehicles owned by nearby businesses. Police were able to find a discarded shotgun in a parking lot close to the scene. Now, Franklin was taken to the Jamestown City Jail and charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree, reckless endangerment in the 1st degree, menacing in the 2nd, and multiple other Jamestown City Code violations. Now, Darius is being held in the Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment in Jamestown Court. A Dunkirk woman was arrested after bringing marijuana into a state prison last week. A Dunkirk woman visiting the Attica Correctional Facility was apprehended for carrying marijuana with her last Thursday. Now, Warsaw State Troopers at the NYS Department of Corrections and Community Supervision arrested Cheyenne Donner for promoting prison contraband in the 2nd degree. The 24-year-old was taken to the Warsaw State Prison for processing and is due in the Attica Town Court at a later date. While two people were arrested for a routine traffic stop that led to a discovery of several illegal drugs and related paraphernalia last Friday. The Chautauqua County deputies stopped a speeding vehicle just after 11 p.m. in the town of Gary on Route 60 Friday. Once the sheriff's deputies approached the stopped car, they noticed a suspicious little bag within. Upon searching the vehicle, deputies seized 9.9 ounces of cocaine, 17.74 grams of fentanyl, a digital scale, packaging materials for the sale and distribution of narcotics, and $135. 22-year-old Megan Leeper and 25-year-old Corey Robinson were both arrested at the scene and charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 1st degree, criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree, and criminally using drug paraphernalia in the 2nd degree. Now, the two were taken to the Chautauqua County Jail and centralized arraignment program. While a memorial bench was placed in Dow Park in the city of Jamestown over the weekend, remembering 15-year-old Alexis Lexi Hugan, who was gone too soon. Lexi was killed in a hit-and-run accident on New Year's Eve 2021. Since then, one community member has been doing whatever she could to honor the late teen.
Things on the side of the road had started to get kind of dusty and dirty, and people were saying stuff about it, and I thought, how can I help? How can I make this little girl have a beautiful memorial somewhere in the city of Jamestown for people to come and visit and celebrate her life?
Lexi's mother, Sarah Rafalowski, believed that her child would have loved the ceremony, kicking off Pride in the city of Jamestown.
She loved Pride. In fact, that was one of the main pictures we used all over the place for her, was the one from Pride Fest. So, yeah, very excited about it. I'm sure she'll be with me down at the stage.
Life's too short to worry about the things that
The man behind the wheel, Randall Rawlson, pled guilty to the vehicular manslaughter, a saving grace to Rafalowski.
I'm really glad that it's over. I'm glad that I don't have to sit through any grueling details of any case stuff that nobody needs to hear. No fighting over something that obviously happened that was his fault. You know, it's all done and over, so I'm much happier about that. And it was really cool to have this happen the very next day.
Dow Park has always been known as a place of memorial, and the dedication ceremony was no different. All right, and we'll get a check of our first weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson, and it looks like rain out there.
Yes, it's actually been quite some time the radar has gotten this much use. I don't remember when the last time the radar actually got this much use, but yes, we have some rain showers moving through the region. The rain started last night, and it continues this morning. This is actually the last batch of rain we have moving through to today, and then it will be quiet for the rest of the afternoon, but we'll get into some more rain heading into tomorrow afternoon and into Wednesday. Let's take a look at some of the rainfall totals from the past 24 hours. Clymer so far a big winner with just over 3/4 inches of rain. Mayville just over a 1/2 inch of rain. Silver Creek at 4/10, same thing for Dunkirk. And here at the Jamestown Airport, we have just about 2/10 of an inch of rain. So there is more rain coming on. There is more rain coming, and I'll tell you about that in the full forecast in just a little bit. But first, taking a look at the almanac for today, we made it to a high of 79 degrees in the city of Jamestown yesterday. Our low for today was 54, and a record high 91 set back in 1933. The record low of 29 set back in 1987. So here's your first defense weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon out there. Mostly cloudy skies with showers. Showers will be tapering off for the rest of the afternoon. And we might get into a few peaks of sunshine later this afternoon with a southwest wind of 10 to 20 miles per hour. And highs today will be in the mid to upper 60s. I'll have a look at that full forecast, including how much more rain is on the way, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. As WNY News Now continues, we look at some of the biggest bills coming out of Albany. And later, a major Philadelphia bridge has collapsed. We hear more coming up. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Hi, I'm Dave Manella, Chairman of the Italian American Charity Golf Association, and it is our goal to help in the fight against cancer-related care. We have held our annual charity fundraiser for over 52 years and raised over $1.6 million for the healthcare facilities throughout our community. This includes UPMC Cancer Treatment Center and the Star Hospice House. Our next tournament will be held from June 8th through June 10th at Holiday Valley. If you would like more information, you can go to icharitygolf.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Mackermites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Some of New York State's biggest bill items have been voted on, including the Clean Slate Act, a bill that would provide for the automatic sealing of certain conviction records after a certain amount of time. Governor Kathy Hochul said earlier this week she would like to see a version of the Clean Slate go through. She also said she was hoping for policy around housing. Last week, legislative leaders announced the policy toward rent protection and affordable housing programs is not going to happen this year, but Governor Hochul says it is an issue she's decided to work on an outside season.
We have a lot of good ideas, important ideas that need to be implemented because we have a housing crisis as we speak. And to do nothing in the long term is not an answer.
Lawmakers also took up a bill that would authorize the governor to sign the final gaming compact agreement between Seneca Nation and the state. This compact allows Seneca Nation to operate their 3 casinos. This bill passed in the Senate and will likely pass in the Assembly later tonight. Another big bill lawmakers are looking at today, carried by legislative leaders relative to presidential primaries, It intends to schedule the presidential primary election for April 2nd, 2024. The bill also has several other provisions related to curable ballots, absentee ballots, and recounts. Well, a second horse died less than 24 hours after the Belmont Stakes due to a severe leg break. The death of Manchee Girl is the fourth to occur in Belmont Park this spring and summer season. Belmont isn't the only racing site to be struggling with horse fatalities this season, as the winner of the Baltimore Pimlico passed away soon after their victory. Plus, Churchill Downs paused its racing operations due to 12 horse fatalities in the past month. Manchee Girl took a major fall early in the race near the quarter pole that left her with a disastrous break in her front left leg. Severity of the injury resulted in euthanasia for the 5-year-old Mary Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority, or HISA, officials and the New York State Equine Medical Director will be analyzing the necropsy results. Now, additionally, NYRA, HISA, and the New York State Gaming Commission will be reviewing all aspects of the accident. Now, according to the horse racing industry database, Manchee Girl had been in 19 races and won 3, earning almost $200,000 throughout her career. Well, a traffic nightmare is still unfolding in Philadelphia that could impact drivers for months to come. Part of Interstate 95 collapsed Sunday after a tanker truck caught fire under the highway. The fire was so intense and caused the roads to buckle. The section of 95 is closed in both directions, and authorities are telling drivers to avoid the area. The highway collapse caused explosions around the road. The fire department chief suspects the crash affected some fuel or gas lines. Luckily, no one was hurt. Now, this section of 95 is an important thoroughfare for people traveling south from New Jersey or heading north from Pennsylvania.
We expect that to take some number of months. To expedite this process and to cut through the red tape, tomorrow morning I plan to issue a disaster declaration, allowing the Commonwealth to immediately draw down federal funds and move quickly to repair and reconstruct this roadway.
Authorities are setting up detours to get around this mess, but the fallout from this crash is expected to affect thousands of people. An investigation underway to figure out what happened, and authorities are now trying to figure out how to fix the road. Well, this week in Harrisburg, child care advocates called on state lawmakers to support higher wages and expand equal quality providers in the upcoming budget. Our state capitol correspondent Brendan Scanlon reports on why the workforce behind the workforce says that they're running out of time.
This week, child care advocates say they're running on empty.
Programs are closing at an alarming rate. We have so many children that we need to service.
So many children, but not enough money to pay teachers the wage they deserve. According to Start Strong PA, the average early childhood teacher makes just $12.43 per hour.
Think about that right now. Think of the sheets worker who's making $17 to $20 an hour, the Target worker. I could go on and on.
Representative Pat Harkins co-chairs the Early Childhood Education Caucus.
We need to step up and do the right things. And
he says child care professionals deserve better.
The people that are in it are very dedicated people and very committed to the cause.
People like Valerie Hamilton, who are pleading for both parties to address the crisis.
We do need help, not just on one end or the other, but a bipartisan way where we can look forward to help our children reach their potential.
There is bipartisan support for the investments.
We'll build a solid workforce, and then we get everybody back to work and get those polished young minds that we need for our future.
If we want them to return and we want our economy to be operating at its full potential, we need to be investing in child care.
With 38,000 children currently on the wait list for child care, lawmakers believe more funding means more parents returning to work.
You have people who want to get back in the workforce, but they can't because the providers aren't there.
Exactly how much will be invested for child care is yet to be determined. Governor Shapiro proposed nearly $67 million for child care and over $30 million for pre-K and Head Start programs. Advocates are calling for more, saying the crisis is costing the Commonwealth over $6.5 billion annually. At the state capitol in Harrisburg, Brendan Scanlon reporting.
Coming up, the man known as the Unabomber has died in federal prison. We have the details coming up. And later, after a tragic stabbing spree in France, one man is being labeled as the hero with a backpack. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Current conditions in downtown Jamestown. We got some light rain showers falling out there. We also have some fog being reported at Jamestown Airport. Current temperature as of the noon hour, 62 degrees with a south wind of 9 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the rain chances over the next few days because we have some much needed rain in forecast. The 80% chance of rain today, mainly right now into the early afternoon hours, and then we'll go mainly dry through the rest of the afternoon. The rain chance 40% comes later tomorrow afternoon and evening through the overnight hours of Tuesday into Wednesday, and then we go down to some scattered chances for Thursday and Friday. So yes, we have some much needed rain in the forecast, and we definitely need it. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast over the next 72 hours running through Wednesday, we're looking at another possibly 1 to 1.5 inches of rain across the region, maybe closer to 2 inches in any spots that pick up some embedded thunderstorms. And this next system of rain that's going to be moving through later tomorrow night into Wednesday will be focused across the southern tier and northwestern Pennsylvania, where the low pressure system is going to be moving across Pennsylvania. So more rain is in the forecast on top of what we already have. Here's what's happening across the northeast right now. The current system responsible for the rain is just off to our west. It's in the process of pushing a cold front through the region, but as that cold front moves through, the rain will pretty much end for the afternoon and the evening hours. And you can see behind the cold front, not much rain happening behind it, just some clouds, and we'll get into some possible peaks chance of sunshine later this afternoon. You see it on future scan. That cold front moves through, and we're pretty much dry through the rest of the afternoon and the evening. Maybe still an isolated shower this evening, but overall the period tonight will be mainly dry. We'll get into some clearing skies tonight and through the early half of tomorrow. Partly sunny skies to start the day off tomorrow, and then that next system will bring another batch of rain tomorrow late afternoon and evening, and that will continue through the overnight hours of Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then rain showers will be with us and maybe a couple of isolated thunderstorms possible on Wednesday as well. And now the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So daily chances for rain, we definitely needed that. In terms of temperatures for the week ahead, mainly in the mid to upper 60s, and we should dry it out by the end of the week, get some sunshine back in the forecast for Friday. And as of now, it looks like the weekend will be mainly dry with sunshine and temperatures in the mid 70s.
All right, Andrew. Thank you very much. Time for some headlines from around the nation. Former President Donald Trump is indicted for allegedly mishandling classified documents at his Florida home. It's the first time a former president will face criminal charges by the federal government on Capitol Hill. Congressional members are giving mixed reactions to this historic moment. Now our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
News of former President Donald Trump's federal indictment over how he handled classified documents spread quickly in Washington. Top Republicans like Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy were quick to defend Trump. Mike Pence, Trump's former vice president and currently running for the Republican presidential nomination, is also defending his former boss.
And I'm deeply troubled to see this indictment move forward.
Pennsylvania Congressman Glenn Thompson told us, quote, "While the full details of the indictment have not been released, one has to question the political motivations of bringing charges against the presidential frontrunner." New York Congressman Nick Langworthy said in part, "Is it any coincidence that as we uncover more evidence into Biden's bribery scheme, he weaponizes the FBI and DOJ against his top opponent?" Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, who is on the subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government, said in part, "It is important that we members of the federal legislature allow the separate branch of government, the judicial branch, to operate independently. I call on my Republican colleagues not to weaponize Congress to the benefit of a man at the expense of our republic. I and my Democratic colleagues on the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government will be vigilant to call out falsehoods propagated by MAGA Republicans and the use of the subcommittee to operate as a separate arm of Donald Trump's defense team." At the U.S. Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Ted Kaczynski, known as the Unabomber, has died in prison. At least that's according to a law enforcement official. Now, he was serving 8 life sentences after pleading guilty to mailing bombs to people from 1978 to 1995. 3 people were killed and 23 others wounded. Now, he was a Harvard-educated former math professor who lived as a recluse in Montana. His first bomb blew up at a Chicago. The name Unabomber came from the case name Unabomb. In 1995, he was sent a 35,000-word essay to the FBI explaining his motives, which became known as the Unabomber Manifesto. His brother David is the one who suggested to investigators Ted might be the bomber. While the French president has been visiting the victims of a stabbing, which took place in a children's playground, 4 toddlers and 2 adults were attacked on Thursday in the town of Annecy. Authorities say a Syrian asylum seeker is accused of carrying out the assault. He was seen entering the playground with a knife and going after children in their strollers. One Catholic pilgrim is now being hailed as a hero for his efforts to stop the attacker.
I didn't even think. My brain just switched off. It was just impossible to leave defenseless people to be attacked like that by someone who seemed to me effectively to be a maniac. He tried to attack me and our eyes met, and I could feel that this was the guy who was not in the right state, that something evil was inside him.
Now, 2 children are still in a vitally urgent state after surgical intervention. While next, we look back at this year's Jamestown Pride Fest.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
Hi, I'm Dave Manella, Chairman of the Italian-American Charity Golf Association, and it is our goal to help in the fight against cancer-related care. We have held our annual charity fundraiser for over 52 years and raised over $1.6 million for the healthcare facilities throughout our community. This includes UPMC Cancer Treatment Center and the Star Hospice House. Our next tournament will be held from June 8th through June 10th at Holiday Valley. If you would like more information, you can go to ihcharitygolf.com.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Mackermites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Jamestown's third Pride Fest has come to an end. Now we spoke to some community members about their thoughts of the annual blowout, and our Alyssa Wright joins us live here at the news desk with more. Alyssa?
That's right, Bronson. The event had a decent turnout this year, bringing new and returning faces to last weekend's festivities.
It's pretty cool to be able to see a lot of different people that, like, not only people that are like us, but people that support us too. That's a huge thing for me because, like, I haven't had a lot of support throughout my life, so it's really cool to have that.
Those in attendance were seemingly excited to have an opportunity to rejoice.
After, everything our community has endured, I feel like it's just to celebrate who we are. We should be proud of who we are, and we should be proud of all the things that we endured, all the abuse and all the violence. We came from chaos, but now we're celebrating. I feel like everybody should be happy about who they are, and to put a smile on somebody's face, to welcome them to something that we should be proud of. I feel it's a good kickoff to Pride.
The festival itself was met with mixed reactions from the public, but the main message of Pride rang true to everyone in attendance.
The main message is come to love yourself and come to love the others around you. And just be proud of who you are. Obviously, it's not easy for everyone, but finding that inner acceptance and just love for yourself is honestly something that's really important for everyone.
Overall, most are looking forward to next year's event.
I'm glad I came because it's a fun experience to have. It's really cool to see just how many people there are around here, even in this small community, that support us and are like us, and it's just really cool. It feels really awesome to be able to come here and actually see it in person.
Pride Month will continue throughout the month of June with different organizations, businesses, and individuals celebrating love and acceptance by flying their Pride and Progress flags.
Oh, definitely. And you were there for most of the day, Alyssa. How did it end up going?
It was very nice. It was a clear contrast between last year and this year. However, it was still a lot of fun. I made some new friends, and nothing beats sitting over in the plaza listening to live music.
That's definitely always a treat, especially those times when we leave here and we see people there. And really, like you said earlier, we've heard a lot of mixed reactions when it comes to this year's Pride. Well, what have you heard yourself?
I've heard that it was seemingly, it was definitely much smaller, seemingly a little unorganized. However, I know that it's a big festival to plan. There's a lot that goes into it, and for what it was, I feel like they did a pretty good job. I had a lot of fun.
Did you end up making it over to the farmer's market? They actually started up Saturday as well, and they're going to be continuing all throughout the summer season.
I sure did, and there were a lot of wonderful products for sale there. My favorite, there was this mirror, and it was all decorated with moss and mushrooms, and it was very, very cute. So they have a lot of awesome stuff.
Definitely, Alyssa. Well, thank you very much for being here today, and we'll leave you with this live look over Lakeside Park. We'll catch you next time.